Siberian elms have a bad reputation. Planted in the wrong place, they most certainly are a never-ending pest. Too much pollen, too many seeds, too many roots, too many elm beetles, too many branches breaking. They definitely do not belong anywhere near a septic system. It sounds like they don't belong anywhere, but they do belong where I live. The Siberian elm bloom signals the beginning of spring in early February and the beginning of my garden year. The blooms develop into seeds that are a neon springtime green, perfect for a vase indoors, but dreaded as they become the dry, viable seeds of reproduction. Every year I curse at the weekly freezes we get on this side of the mountain. It kills new blooms of every type, ruining our fruit crops more often than not. The silver lining for me is it also freezes the elm seeds. Some years I don't have any viable elm seeds at all. I used to fear them and shovel wheelbarrow loads off to the compost, but no more. The millions of seeds this tree has produced in its 30-year lifespan has not filled our pastures with baby elms, and the ones I pull up easily from the mulch in the garden are few. Bees need pollen all summer, but they also need pollen sources for brood building early in the year, and Siberians bloom in early February. Lainey the llama gets elm leaves every day. She refuses to eat the stems, though. Interestingly, though, Siberian elms are used in the Gobi Desert, which is in Siberia, and they use Siberian elms as forage for camels. The chickens like elm leaves as well. Elm beetles are specific to elm trees. They don't like to live or eat anywhere else. The early spring freezes, at least one freeze every week in April, disrupts their life cycle, killing many of them. Not all, unfortunately, but enough to keep elm beetles from destroying leaves and disfiguring the tree. We use Siberian elms as a windbreak. They protect the garden, our home, and our animals from the brunt of the fierce prairie winds. Siberian elms make great bonsai plants. In spring, they have the tiniest baby buds that soon burst into leaf. In summer, it creates a cool canopy over its cramped container. In fall, it turns a beautiful yellow. And in winter, it looks lovely in the snow. Our tree is 32 years old. Siberian elms make great espalier plants against garden walls. Our cat, Bruno, uses this one as his scratching post. Siberians can take lots of punishment. This tree is called a camperdown elm, or Ulmus glabra. Ricky and I found 2 of these in a California garden named Philoli. These were huge trees with branches to the ground. You could hide underneath them standing up. I had to have one. The top of this tree is a weeping Scottish elm. The bottom of the tree is a Siberian elm. The huge blob in the middle is the graft. A friend said it reminded her of Quasimodo, and the name has stuck. This is the American elm of my youth. Many of us from the Midwest can remember when all the American elms got Dutch elm disease. Shady, leafy neighborhoods became barren and unrecognizable. This one is 10 years old now and is still healthy. Dutch elm disease is not in New Mexico. This is the family elm in the front yard and was planted in 1933 by Ricky's grandparents. It turns 90 years old this coming spring. This picture shows the same tree in 1972 when Ricky got out of the Navy and came back to save the old adobe. The home had been abandoned for 18 years. Talk about a drought-hardy tree. This is the same tree today in 2022. According to monumentaltrees.com, the oldest Siberian elm tree in America is 92 years old and lives in Virginia. One of my silent wishes is that we live to see ours turn 100. I know convincing the world that Siberian elms have much to offer is a hard sell, but even Santa Fe Botanical Garden has softened its stance on this much maligned tree. I look out my door and I'm thankful every day for the elms I have. If you don't live on the plains, don't plant one. If you do live on the plains, consider it.